All right, everybody, welcome back to episode number 2 of the Savvy Sports Podcast. I am your host. My name is Jamie Nazario. And today we're having a much better show than we did on Sunday, quite frankly, because the Packers just annoy me with how terrible they're playing. But we're going to have a much better show today that is guaranteed. We're going to be talking about the slate of football games going on in week 10 of the NFL football season. We will be talking about some NBA basketball that we should get into. We will also be getting into a little bit of wrestling with some of the stuff going on, but that would be later on in the show. And today, I have my second favor down, the two more favors for the Chicago Bears fans as we get into this weekend's matchup against the Detroit Lions. So first things first, we should start with the reigning number 1 seed for the AFC conference in the NFL. That would happen to be the Buffalo Bills. Unfortunately, Josh Allen has suffered a UCL injury, meaning an injury to his arm, elbow area, and it looks like he very much should be out of this week's matchup between the Bills and hold on here. I apologize. I had the Bills game just up right now. The Bills and the Vikings. The Vikings, if I'm not mistaken, are 6-1 on the season, 7-1 somewhere around that area. Kirk Cousins, 7-1. Kirk Cousins looks to be playing very good football, but it's Kirk Cousins, never trustworthy, always about his numbers and about his money, and that's about it. As we look here tonight, for Thursday, November 10th, we have a matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Now, Marcus Mariota has been playing very good football as it pertains to the Atlanta Falcons. I believe that the Atlanta Falcons are number 2 in the NFC South. You're going up against the Carolina Panthers team that is 2-7. Baker Mayfield clearly not the answer. Carolina has traded away Robbie Anderson. They traded away Christian McCaffrey. Robbie Anderson went to the Arizona Cardinals. Christian McCaffrey headed to the San Francisco 49ers, where he will be in a much better situation unless he's being thrown the football by Jimmy Garoppolo. Tonight, I believe that the Atlanta Falcons will indeed get to 500. They will beat the Carolina Panthers, who, like as I just said, Baker Mayfield was not the answer. Sam Darnold was absolutely not the answer. I believe that we will see a compelling football game just because the Panthers' defense is serviceable, even good at times. But in the end, I do believe that the Atlanta Falcons will prevail with Kyle Pitts, like I said, Mariota, and that decent offensive line. They have a very decent offensive line that can let Marcus Mariota get some things done. I still believe that the Atlanta Falcons will not win the NFC South. That will go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady, I believe, will lead into that division and then get bounced out in the first round of the playoffs to a wild card team. As we look at other games that we have for this Sunday, we have the Seahawks playing at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I believe that the Seahawks will stomp the floor with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just because I don't know. There's just something about this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team ever since Bruce Arians stepped out from the coaching role and let Todd Bowles step in. There's just something that's not clicking with this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. I believe that Tom Brady is unfortunately showing his age at times. The man is 45 years of age. I believe that there's times where he just shows his age, some underthrown throws. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. I know that Chris Godwin came back from that nasty injury that he suffered last season. Mike Evans, both of them dropping passes. Rob Gronkowski is no longer in the lineup. And the NFL aficionados always said that Rob Gronkowski would come back into the lineup around this time of the season. I truly do not believe that that will be the case. I think that Rob Gronkowski will remain retired. He will remain retired. He will remain doing his commercials. He'll remain doing his parties. It's just done. Rob Gronkowski is one of the greatest tight ends in football, but I don't see Gronkowski coming back. And even if Rob Gronkowski were to come back, even if Gronk were to come back to this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team to be the security blanket for Tom Brady, I still don't believe that it would make much of a difference. A Rob Gronkowski, whom I don't know what Rob Gronkowski has been up to. I'm assuming that he hasn't been doing too many football drills, seeing as though he doesn't want to put his body through that type of punishment anymore. I don't know, especially now, a little bit over halfway through the season, week 10 now, 7 to 8 weeks left of the regular NFL season. I don't believe that Rob Gronkowski will come back. This defense, like I said, something about the Bucs is just not clicking with this defense. Todd Bowles is a defensive mind. And I think that age and attrition is starting to kick in for these Tampa Bay Buccaneers to where it's not the same team that won the Super Bowl 3 years ago against the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not even the same team from last year that went to the NFC. I believe it was the NFC divisional playoffs, divisional playoff round against the Los Angeles Rams. I don't believe that this is the same team. I believe that this is the team that is decaying, a team that has mentally been shot. Because of everything going on with Tom Brady. So I believe that the Seahawks, led by Geno Smith, DK Metcalf, Taylor Lockett, and those boys, I believe that they will put a beating on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have the Cleveland Browns at the Miami Dolphins. Tua has been playing like an MVP candidate. Tua Tagovailoa coming back from those concussions that he was going through. They called it back injuries. Everybody and their mama knew it was a concussion. The man got up, he started wobbling, and then he took a nasty hit. I believe it was against the Buffalo Bills. He gets a concussion, comes back into the game anyway, and then from there, he plays up against the Cincinnati Bengals, and he finishes suffering the concussion. It's all downhill from there for Mr. Tua, but he has come back, making Tyreek Hill look also like an MVP candidate. I believe Tyreek Hill is top 3 in MVP at this moment. Tua Tagovailoa is certainly top 7 in MVP voting, or not MVP voting, excuse me, in MVP candidates for this NFL season. He's leading the league in QBR. He is being accurate, which Tyreek Hill tried to tell all of us that Tua Tagovailoa was accurate. As for this game, I don't know. I feel like the Browns have been up and down. They don't have Deshaun Watson yet. I believe Deshaun Watson should be coming back either next week or the week after that, but he is on. He is right around the corner for Deshaun Watson after all those allegations. The allegations that were thrown against Deshaun Watson and the civil lawsuits that he had. I'm going to be picking the Dolphins. I think this is an easy pick. I think that Tua will carve up that Browns defense. And I believe that he will beat the Cleveland Browns. Will it be a stomp? No, because Nick Chubb is a man amongst boys. And Nick Chubb basically, literally and figuratively, carries the Cleveland Browns offense as the number 1 running back. But I do believe that in a close game, Tua Tagovailoa will find a way to lead the Dolphins to victory. We have the Denver Broncos at Tennessee in a matchup against the Titans on Sunday afternoon football. The Broncos stink. Russell Wilson was not the answer for this team. Nathaniel Hackett, their head coach, who came over from Green Bay, he was their offensive coordinator. As many people have said, he looks like a deer in headlights. He just doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. The Broncos had a very good offense. They have a lot of offensive weapons. You have Jerry Jeudy out there. You have the running back whose name escapes me at this moment. The tight end spot was secure. And it just seems like Russell Wilson is also aging. Either that or he just doesn't have a coach with him that can open him up to a better play style. All Russell Wilson wanted to do was let Russ cook, and it looks like Russ is cooking a stew made with milk that is quickly just fading apart. Russ is just aging like milk at this point. As I mentioned, we have the Minnesota Vikings at the Buffalo Bills. I believe that the Buffalo Bills, it will be a close game. It will absolutely be a close game. Justin Jefferson is because of the departure of Devontae Adams from Green Bay, where he had an elite quarterback, I believe that Justin Jefferson is now in that running to be the best wide receiver in the league. I would still give that to Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs at a close second, but Justin Jefferson is definitely up in there. The Buffalo Bills, outside of their quarterback position, with Case Keenum taking over this weekend, and again, I do believe that Josh Allen should sit down for at least the next 3 to 4 weeks. We will get more into the Bills schedule as we go. I'm just making early NFL Sunday picks. I believe the Bills. I believe the Bills will still come out on top. You still have the running back. I don't exactly remember his name off the top of my head. Oh my goodness, is his name Tre'Davious White? Tre'Davious White, is that his name? Oh my Lord, I should know his name. Tre'Davious White. No, he's a cornerback. Who's their running back? Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary. I knew that there was a guy called Tre'Davious White. I apologize. Devin Singletary. I believe he could still do some things. You still have Stephon Diggs. You still have Gabe Davis. And I believe that they will find a way to hand the Minnesota Vikings their second loss, especially at Buffalo. Bills Mafia will be in the house. They'll be all over the place. It'll be great for pre-game tailgating. I have heard that in Buffalo, tailgating is just different with people going through tables and stuff. Sounds like a WWE Royal Rumble to me. Giants at Texans. The Giants. It's hands down. The Texans, they don't know what they want to do. It just seems like they continue to find new ways to lose football games every week. The Giants have been a very good NFL team this season, led by Brian Daboll and Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes. Saquon Barkley has been healthy, which I believe has been key to the Giants' success this year, along with that defense playing very scrappy, very get it in the mud type. The Giants, I believe, win this Sunday against the Texans, moving up on the standings. Where are the Giants at in the standings? They're 6-2. Wow. The NFL football Giants are 6-2 in the season. I believe that they're in second place for the NFC East, behind only the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. The Jaguars at Chiefs. This is where things go sideways, right? Because I know that Patrick Mahomes is a bad dude. And by bad, I mean great. Patrick Mahomes is just that dude. And he doesn't have Tyreek Hill anymore, but he still has Travis Kelce. You still have McCole Hardman. Juju Smith-Schuster has been playing very good football as well. But I believe that this will be an upset. I believe that the Jaguars will go into Arrowhead and manage to upset the Kansas City Chiefs with Trevor Lawrence playing very, very decent football this year. I believe that the Jaguars traded James Robinson to the Jets after the loss of their running back who went down for the season. Saints at Steelers, two mediocre teams. I'll give one to the Saints. Not much to get into there. Michael Thomas is down for the season. You still have Alvin Kamara down there, who is just another great running back. He's an absolute dog. Jarvis Landry can still play, and you have a serviceable defense. Colts at Raiders. The Colts beat them. Jeff Saturday's very first game. And by the way, congratulations to ESPN's Jeff Saturday becoming the interim head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. I believe that Jeff Saturday starts off with a bang, beats the break off the Raiders, who don't know if they want to be a good team, if they want to be a bad team, if they want to tank, if they want to win football games. I believe that Devontae Adams very much regrets the decision to leave Green Bay to go play with his old college quarterback in Derek Carr, whom I've never believed to be very good. I think that Derek Carr is a very much lower end, middle of the pack quarterback at around that 17-18 mark. And I believe that the Colts have a transformation and they beat the Raiders. So give me the Colts on that one. We have Cardinals at Rams. I believe that I saw a video and I don't remember the player's name, but he was in tears in the locker room, giving this great motivational speech to the Cardinals. He says he's tired of losing. He's tired of being a bad team. He wants to win. He wants all of them to win. I believe the Cardinals beat the Rams. The Rams are very much hungover from the Super Bowl. They won a Super Bowl, and They have just not been very good. It looks like Matthew Stafford is back to his old days of Detroit. Cooper Kupp has had to literally carry this Rams offense because they don't have a number two option after paying Allen Robinson all that money. And so I believe that the Cardinals come out with the return of DeAndre Hopkins, with Robbie Anderson, another week in that system, another week of being acclimated to Kyler Murray, another week of J.J. Watt as well, being back. If J.J. Watt is still playing, I know that he had a cardiac issue some time ago, and he was back in the lineup a few weeks ago, made the game-winning tip ball for the interception. We have the Los Angeles Chargers at the San Francisco 49ers up at Levi Stadium. Ooh, that's a tough pick. That's a tough pick on Sunday Night Football. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I believe that Keenan Allen is not back, though, is he? Is Keenan Allen back? I'm not too sure. I'm going to stick with the Chargers. I'm going to stick with Justin Herbert. I believe that Justin Herbert is a bad dude. And again, just like Patrick Mahomes, by bad I mean good. He's just a very good quarterback. He's not great yet because we've seen Justin Herbert kind of make some questionable plays. He has an electric arm, though. There's no doubt about that. I believe that Jimmy Garoppolo is just not the answer for the 49ers. And I don't know how to feel about Trey Lance. We understand that he's hurt. If I'm not mistaken, Trey Lance is down for the entire rest of the season after his week 4 injury, where he went down. Trey Lance is not coming back. And so Jimmy Garoppolo, even Kyle Shanahan, his own head coach, doesn't believe in him to the point where they cut his salary and relegated him to the bench before having him come back. I believe that the Chargers win this game. I believe that the Chargers go up into Levi Stadium and beat the 49ers, even with Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and all them boys. Brandon Ayuk is still up in there. We have the Washington Commanders, the Washington corny name, and I'm being 100% honest. The Washington Commanders is just a completely corny name. I cannot stand it. I would have personally preferred the Washington Firebirds because it tells the story. There's a story that you could tell behind that, of this team that was, down in the depths, just could not get back up, and then just like the Phoenix, they come back up. But that's just me personally. At the Philadelphia Eagles, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. That's an easy pick. The Philadelphia Eagles are undefeated on the season, even though there is a chance that they could be upset. But I'm still going with the Eagles to beat the Washington Commanders. And I believe handily, honestly. I believe, especially in Philadelphia, I believe that will be a handily win. And now the two games that I purposely avoided of the list of NFL games this week, just because one of them, I don't know how to feel about the Cowboys at Packers. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm scared. As I stated last week, and I posted the video and it garnered a lot of attention, and I truly appreciate everybody that shares the stream, shares the YouTube videos, shares the clips, watches them, comments, everything. I truly do appreciate it. I'm very thankful for it. I am very much upset with the Green Bay Packers. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. I've been a Green Bay Packers fan for over a decade now. I am upset because it just doesn't seem like this offense can get it together under any stretch. After 3 straight 13-win seasons, 2 trips to the NFC Championship, and then losing to the 49ers in the divisional round last year. And the Cowboys just look, oh man, I can't stand the fact that I'm saying this, but the Cowboys look good. Dak Prescott came back from his thumb injury and he played very nicely last week, and I don't want to talk about it. You know what? I'm rolling with my team. I'm rolling with the Packers to break their 5-game losing streak. I said 4 games last week. It was actually 5 because I forgot that we lost to the Commanders. But I believe that Green Bay will get their ship back on track, become a 4-6 team, and beat the Dallas Cowboys just to make my weekend, please. I just want one thing to make my weekend. Can I please have that? Can I please be able to talk smack to my boy Billy on Facebook, who is a diehard Cowboys fan? Can I please get that, Green Bay? Please and thank you. Um, and then the last game, which is Detroit at Chicago, I'm purposely going to skip that one because I'm going to talk about it later on with my two favors of the week for this weekend for the Chicago Bears matchup as they host the Detroit Lions. Let's get into some basketball. The Los Angeles Lakers lost yet another game last night against the Clippers. LeBron James goes down. It appears with a leg or a groin injury. LeBron James is just too old, and I say that respectfully to LeBron James. He's one of the top 5 players of all time. I have him at number 3, but that's a conversation for another day. LeBron James is not of the age any longer where he can carry a basketball team to wins anymore. He's not. He is still a very good basketball player. I wouldn't call him elite because that is reserved for the top 5 players in the NBA. And I'll be quite frank with all of you. LeBron James is not playing like a top 5 player in the league this year. Let's call a spade a spade. LeBron James has faded this year, which is unprecedented because last year he averaged 30. This year, there's some slippage with LeBron. His shooting is worse. It doesn't seem like he can blow by guys with the same ease that he used to. I mean, my Lord, I remember last year that nasty dunk that he had on, I believe it was Nemanja Bjelica against the Kings. I remember a few years ago when he was still with Cleveland, he goes right past, I think it was CJ McCollum, and just throws one down completely on Yusuf Nurkic, just puts him on a nasty poster. And I don't believe that LeBron has that anymore. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to call LeBron James a role player. Absolutely not. He is still a very high-quality all-star, and all other 29 teams in the NBA would be lining up at Jeannie Buss's door to get their hands on LeBron, right? But he is not playing like a top 5 player. He's not playing better than Giannis Antetokounmpo, who up until a few nights ago, I believe it was against the Atlanta Hawks, the Bucks were undefeated. He is not playing better than He's not playing better than Luka Doncic, who just dropped a triple-double against the Nets. I think that was the last game, and the Mavericks are actually up right now. I have the scores up for today's games. He's not playing better than Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is 100% the best player on the planet. I would go as far as to say that LeBron James is not playing better than Damian Lillard. The Portland Trailblazers, Damian Lillard. I believe that Damian Lillard this year will come out after being hurt last season and will play like gangbusters and will prove to everybody that he deserves to be in the MVP race. And LeBron James is not playing better than Steph Curry. Now, the Warriors are struggling. Don't get it twisted, right? I understand that. But it's by no means Steph Curry's fault. Steph Curry's been balling. And I believe that he is still a top 5 player in the league. But LeBron doesn't crack that list. LeBron James, as blasphemous as it sounds to say, LeBron James doesn't crack the top 5 NBA players in the league today. In this league right now, a league that has sped up, a league that is full of shooters. The Lakers can't shoot. In a league of shooters, every single team has at least one shooter. The Lakers have none. Their best shooter, if I'm not mistaken, I saw on the television network has been Russell Westbrook, the person who everybody wants traded from the team, who's coming off the bench, a $47 million player coming off the bench. That Russell Westbrook, like I said on Sunday, Russell Westbrook is going to be in the running for sixth man of the year this year. It's undoubted. It's undoubted at this point, unless they start bringing him back into the starting lineup, which I don't see the Lakers doing. But Russell Westbrook, if he remains coming off the bench, he will be in the mix for sixth man of the year this year, along with Ben Mathurin, along with Colin Sexton, along with Kevin Love, because I realized that there were a few names that I didn't bring into the equation on Sunday when I was talking about some of these awards. These are players that are going to be in that mix. Christian Wood in Dallas is also going to be a sixth man of the year candidate, in my personal opinion. But the Lakers are not good by any stretch of the word good. The Lakers stink. This team cannot shoot. This team can defend. It's not on Darvin Ham whatsoever because he is working very well, might I add, with the hand that he is dealt, and that is a team that doesn't fit together. You can make an argument that their best scorer of the basketball has been the guy that they picked up this offseason in Lonnie Walker, even though he's only averaging 17. Now, I understand that LeBron James just dropped 35 last night in a losing effort to the Clippers, but I don't believe that LeBron James can carry this team anywhere past the 11th seed. I believe that the Lakers will be a 13th seed this year, and that's it. Even if you make moves, let's say hypothetically you manage to trade Russell Westbrook and 2 first-round picks, and you get your hands on Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, you're going to be a playing team at that point. The Lakers will be an NBA playing team at that point. And is that really where you want to be if you're wearing the purple and gold with the Clippers across the hallway? With Kawhi Leonard sitting out games now to be ready for later on when the games mean something? I believe that the Clippers are infinitely better. How in God's name are you the Los Angeles Lakers and you don't look at John Wall, who was let go by the Rockets, and look at what he did to them a few weeks ago? John Wall, the same John Wall. I just hit the Dougie on my podcast. Besides the point. I'll edit that out. But that same John Wall was giving them work. The Clippers have multiple players to where you could pluck and play. And that's why they have such a deep roster. You have Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. And if those guys are sitting down, you have Marcus Morris, who's been balling. Marcus Morris has been a star in his role. You have big boy Zubac down low. You have Norman Powell. I believe Norman Powell is one of the better 3-and-D players in the league. I truly do. I truly do. You have Luke Kennard coming off your bench, who's a shooter and a scorer. You have Reggie Jackson, who could absolutely come in and play that point guard position. I think either Reggie Jackson's either starting or he's coming off the bench, either or. I'm not too sure. But that just goes to show how deep this Clippers team is. Am I saying that they're going to the finals? Hell no. I still believe that is the Golden State Warriors. I believe that when Klay becomes 70% of Klay Thompson, that is still an elite shooter. Klay Thompson could still be an elite shooter at 70% of his own self. You still have Jordan Poole. You still have Kuminga. You still have Wiseman. And I just don't know what Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss are doing with these Los Angeles Lakers. I truly don't know. I truly don't know. Um, you also have the Brooklyn Nets, and congratulations to Mr. Jacques Vaughn, going from assistant coach to interim head coach to full-blown head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, getting his first win of the season last night against the New York Knicks. Congratulations to him on becoming a head coach, on getting a win. And I believe that Jacques Vaughn, he spent 7 years as an assistant in Brooklyn under Kenny Atkinson, under Steve Nash. I think that this team could go to the conference finals. If the ship gets fixed with Kyrie Irving, and again, I said this on Sunday, I'm going to say it again. I'm not going to get into the Kyrie Irving situation. I still believe that he's a very good basketball player, but everything going on off the court with Kyrie Irving is 100% a distraction for that team. But if we're focusing on the court, Ben Simmons, I believe that Jacques Vaughn will unlock Ben Simmons at the bare minimum as a defender. Because this Brooklyn Nets team has enough firepower on offense to where Ben Simmons could just sit on the corner and just let Kyrie and KD go off. Seth Curry is very underrated. Seth Curry, I believe, is a 39 career percent shooter from three-point land. Joe Harris, you have TJ Warren, who's going to be coming back soon. You have Watanabe coming off the bench, who, by the way, Josiah loves, and of course he does. They're both, never mind, I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to say it. They're both Asian, and of course Josiah wants to root for his guy. I don't blame him one bit. I don't blame Josiah one bit. And Watanabe could do some things for you. Nick Claxton is going to be one of the better defensive bigs in the league. I'm telling y'all what I'm seeing. I love Nick Claxton. And I'm forgetting somebody else. Royce O'Neal, the A3-and-D guy. Royce O'Neal can go pick up your team's best perimeter offensive player. So can Ben Simmons. To a lesser degree, so can Kevin Durant. Kyrie Irving proved to us that if he's locked in, he can guard your team's guards. He proved it last year when Brooklyn rolled up into Philly, and Brooklyn absolutely stumped a mud hole in Philadelphia after James Harden got traded. Kyrie, if he locks in on basketball, this Brooklyn Nets team is something to be concerned about. Brooklyn, you got yourselves a real team out there. The Brooklyn Nets are coming, okay? The Brooklyn Nets are going to be scary this year if Jacques Vaughn is able to right this ship. So also in the Eastern Conference, you have the Atlanta Hawks, who picked up DeJounte Murray. That backcourt works. That backcourt of Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, you still have John Collins, who, by the way, if I can get into this real quick, why does Atlanta insist on adding John Collins to these trade packages? John Collins, the great Ernie Johnson once described him with this greyhound of a body. The dude is lanky. He's 6'8", 6'9", can absolutely jump out of the gym. He'll throw it down on anybody. He could shoot the ball at a respectable clip. And the guy could play some defense now, too. Why do the Atlanta Hawks insist on adding John Collins to these trade talks? That's somebody you keep. Unless you can get your hands on a transcendent player like a Kevin Durant, like a LeBron James. You keep John Collins. He's getting I believe it's $25 million, $25 million this year. I understand that that's a movable contract, but that's a contract you can get. John Collins. Ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't even trade John Collins for Anthony Davis. I would not. I truly would not trade John Collins for Anthony Davis because number one, John Collins is on the court. Number two, John Collins is younger than Anthony Davis. His contract is worth less. Not worthless, but it's worth less than Anthony Davis's contract. Um, he oozes athleticism. I love me some John Collins. I truly do. Um, you have the Miami Heat who are just I don't know what's going on with the Miami Heat, man. This roster, it's one of those rosters where yeah, you're looking for those diamonds in the rough. Your Caleb Martins, your Duncan Robinsons, who went from being undrafted to being, I believe, one of, if not the highest paid undrafted player in the league. Um, you have Dwayne Dedman in there still, the mechanic. But I think that this team is one big piece away. Hypothetically speaking, for the Miami Heat, a Klay Thompson would put this team in NBA championship contending status. Um, who else could the Miami Heat potentially go for? Um, hmm. Outside of Klay Thompson, there's not too many guys that I can think of off the top of my head, to be honest with you. But yeah, there's just something going on with the Miami Heat. The Wizards, they're the Wizards. They'll win a few games here and there. They'll lose more often than they win. It's the Wizards. What else can we expect? As we look at these NBA standings, we have the Cavs, who I predicted to go to the finals, by the way. The Cleveland Cavaliers are going to the NBA finals. Somebody better tell somebody. Y'all are not watching the Cleveland Cavaliers with Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell and Karis LeVert and Evan Mobley is going to be nasty in about 2 years. The Cavaliers are going to the NBA Finals. I'm here to tell y'all. The Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm going to say it one more time. The Cleveland Cavaliers, led by Donovan Mitchell, are going to the NBA Finals. Are they going to win the finals? That's a different story. I'm not going that far yet. But I've got the Cavaliers getting there. I've got the Cavs getting there. The Boston Celtics, they're a good team. Yeah, they could beat anybody on any given night. The Raptors, the Toronto Raptors, Pascal Siakam's very good at basketball. I don't know how nobody talks about Pascal Siakam, another guy who is a lanky 6'9", sort of power forward-ish or point forward-ish, kind of player where he could do a little bit of everything. He's very good. He's very good. I would argue that Pascal Siakam this year is a top 10 player in the league. I would make that argument. The Chicago Bulls and the Knicks are 5-6. Being 500 before last night's game, and then now after losing to the Nets, they are 5-6. As are the Wizards and the Sixers. The Sixers have been a disappointment. James Harden is down for a month. Joel Embiid, after losing the MVP race last year, just seems to be off. The Pacers, considering that the Indiana Pacers can make the play-in, I don't know if they're going to be in much of a rush to trade Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. I really don't know that. I don't know the answer to that question. The Brooklyn Nets are 5-7 after starting off. I believe it was 2-6 that the Nets started off. The Miami Heat are 4-7. The Pistons are 3-9. The Orlando Magic are 3-9, and the Charlotte Hornets, without LaMelo Ball, are 3-9. I told everybody last week, Paolo Banchero is winning Rookie of the Year, hands down. Just give him the trophy now. Give Paolo Banchero the Rookie of the Year trophy. Just give it to him. Just give Paolo Banchero of the Orlando Magic the trophy at this point. Let me see here. Paolo Banchero, where's he at? There he is. Power forward. Averaging 23 and a half points, 8 rebounds, and 3.5 assists with a block per game and a steal per game. Paolo Banchero. I don't know what to say. I truly don't know what to say about Paolo Banchero other than he's going to be a superstar in a few years. Maybe even in 2 years. The kid's going to be a superstar. He's an elite. He's going to be an elite scorer. I told y'all this on Sunday. He's gonna be a Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant type player where he could score from anywhere on the floor. His offensive game is gonna know no bounds. He could grab rebounds. He needs to get better defensively because this was a problem that he was having in college, where his defense was there, but offensively there's no way to stop him. You can try to contain him, but you're not going to flat out stop him. He had what? Against the Rockets, he had 30. And against the Kings, he had 33. The kid is nice. Banchero is very good. The Orlando Magic got himself a superstar. He will be the best player the Orlando Magic have had since Dwight Howard. I don't want to hear about Vucevic. I don't care about Aaron Gordon and the 2 or 3 times that he lost dunk contests. I don't want to hear about any of them. Paolo Banchero will be, from a talent perspective, the best player that the Orlando Magic have had since Dwight Howard. Since Dwight Howard. I'm telling you what I'm seeing from Paolo Banchero. The kid is nice. The kid is nice, okay? And you know who else is special? Jaden Ivey out of the Detroit Pistons. The kid can shoot. He's aggressive. He's an aggressive player. He doesn't have point guard skills like a Chris Paul, like a Steph Curry, to a lesser degree like a Luka, but the kid can flat out go out there and give you a bucket. Just you wait until Jaden Ivey. I say give Jaden Ivey 3 years. The kid is what? He's 20 years old. Wait till he's 23, 24 years old. He's going to be averaging 27, 7, and 7 when he's 24 years old. I'm telling you this right now. The kid is nice. I like me some Jaden Ivey in Detroit next to Cade Cunningham, Isaiah Stewart. Bogdanovich has been a very good veteran for that team, who I believe is averaging about 18 points and 4 assists and about 5 rebounds. Jaden Ivey's another one. He's going to be something special. Jaden Ivey is going to be something special as well. And so now that gets us to the Bucks, who are 10-1. I think that the Bucks get bounced in the first round. In the second round, the second round. The Milwaukee Bucks get bounced in the second round. That is my personal belief. If they go up against somebody like the Knicks, the Wizards, even the Miami Heat, I have to give it up. The Miami Heat are not doing anything this year. Next year, they will be better. I'm already forking the season over. It's done. All right. And with that being said, we are coming down to minute 49 of this podcast, which means that we get into the Chicago Bears hosting the Detroit Lions. And here comes my 2 favors of the week for you nauseating Chicago Bears fans. Favor number 1, okay, is learn how to boo your team. The Bears stink. There's no two ways around it. And by the way, for all you Bears fans that have been getting on me about my Green Bay Packers, I understand that we stink too this year, but we have something y'all don't, and that's 12. Y'all don't even have a you don't even have a Jordan Love. I should take that one back because Justin Fields is okay. He's okay. But with that being said, learn how to hold your team accountable. See, that's the problem is I'll talk day, night, morning, afternoon, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I'll talk no matter what about how bad, putrid, terrible the Green Bay Packers are. You nauseating Bears fans do not take the time to hold your team accountable. You guys win a game and celebrate it like it's a Super Bowl. You guys are ready to give Justin Fields, what's the running back's name? David Montgomery. You guys are ready to give him, what's the trophy called in the Super Bowl? The oh my goodness, he's a former Packers head coach, and I should know this. I forgot. I'm blanking right now. Because that's how much you Bears stink. Hold your team accountable, and I promise you it'll be cathartic. You'll feel better about releasing all that stress. And number two, speaking of releasing, I had an interaction with somebody, an old friend, who told me, and I'm not going to name him, but just know that he would consider letting go of his fandom for the Bears and becoming either a Philly fan or a Buffalo fan. I don't blame you guys. It's hard to root for a bad team. Take it from me. My basketball team right now is 4-7 in the Miami Heat, and my football team sucks. And there's nothing wrong with letting go. See, you Bears fans don't realize that being a fan of the Chicago Bears is like being in a relationship that is going downhill. You fans promised the Bears that you would be there through the ups and downs and that you would care and that no matter what, you would always love them. And the Bears promise you prosperity and they promise to give you guys the world and put you guys on a pedestal. And now the relationship between you fans and the Bears is going downhill. And at this point, just break up. Trust me. Trust me, okay? Just break it up, okay? You'll find another team, and they'll find somebody to steal their money from, okay? And it'll be A-okay. Those are my two favors for you nauseating Bears fans tonight. And with that, I'm going to wrap up today's episode of the Savvy Sports Podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I truly do appreciate it every single Monday and I want to say Wednesdays, but I was supposed to do it last night because today's Thursday. I was supposed to do the podcast last night and I got sidetracked with a few things. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun and I appreciate you guys for coming with me to episode 2. Stay tuned for YouTube as well. I'm going to be taking this episode and I'm going to be uploading it to YouTube. That way it's more accessible for a lot of people. I know a lot of people don't have Twitch. So check it out on YouTube. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Enjoy the football. Enjoy the basketball. And hey, if you want to, go do that hockey. You guys have yourselves a wonderful night.